been about 2 months since I publicly made my announcement that I was coming back to rowing, and I made it in kind of mid to late September when it was lovely. It was balmy weather, it was sunny, it was bright days. We're having a lovely late summer, and obviously since then it's got colder, it's got darker, it's got wetter, it's got windier, and in all honesty the novelty is sort of worn off now of the excitement of being back. It's all very familiar. The training's as hard as it's ever been. If anything, probably I'm finding it tougher than it's ever been, having had the break. My body's taking a little bit of time to adjust back to that intensity. It's just relentless, kind of every single day of the week training, which I knew full well. I knew that's what I was signing back up for, but it still takes an adjustment period to get back to that. I think the reassuring bit is when I get back in a boat, it feels right. It does feel right. It feels very... how the boat moves, how the boat feels is what I would expect it to, and that doesn't feel like I've had 2 years away from it. Physically, yeah, I've definitely got some ground to make up. It's a bit like the mind is willing, but the body is still a little bit weaker on that front, and that will just take time. And the hardest thing is to keep having the patience to let it catch up, because I know where I was 2 years ago. The last competitive race I did was the Olympic final. Now I'm nowhere near that. I was at the peak of my physical, mental, psychological, you name it. I was at the peak of all my strength then, and I'm down on them all right now. So I've got my reasonable rational head that goes, it's fine, it's early days. I'm probably further on than I expected already. However, I've still got my competitive head that has the pride and the ego and everything else, and I want to be back. I want to be back at the top, and I want to be beating everyone, and I'm not there yet. And even if we do some racing pieces, and I've done some trials already, there's moments in the race that I know those are the decisive moments, those are the moments that you can win or lose. And at the moment, although I mentally am still that sharp, I physically can't respond in the same way. So I'm not getting the results I want yet. And that's hard, and to some extent probably the hardest bit ahead is the mental resilience, is accepting that for the short term future I won't be happy with my results, and I won't be happy with where I am. And it's acknowledging that and accepting that, while still knowing that I won't live with it. I have to do better than that all the time, and I will do better than that all the time. But it will just take one step at a time to get where I need to get to. So within rowing we'll have trials throughout the winter. We'll have trials in December, trials in February. The massive decision time will be around April time. That's when our sort of final assessment is. That's when the coaches will make the decisions of who's in what boat and what boats will go forward to the World Championships. Will be in September in 2015. World Championships also double up as the Olympic qualifiers. So ideally you are in the boat that you'll be in the Olympics come next summer. So although there's time, there doesn't feel like there's a lot of time. So I want to see things progressing and moving for myself, but I would hope by April 2015, I'm pretty much in the shape I need to be at for going forward. At that point I need to be back to sort of my race fitness, my race best, and that will give me the best chance of getting more medals.